Honorable Men Discord. Let's talk Jay-Z at the Roots Picnic. Let's talk about it. As always, welcome back to another episode. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend and tell a friend. I drop episodes daily at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So I have the video queued up from a fan in the crowd during the Roots Picnic starring Jay-Z. And then I just have some fans reacting to this whole event with their thoughts. Actually, the last video, I have a gentleman speaking on the fact that in Jay-Z's most recent interview, he was talking about how he's not really a fan of battling. And I'll get to that in a moment. But let's play this video and we'll talk about it further.
And 100. If she would have transitioned before I cleared my name, I would have hunted them. Every one of them playing these silly games. That 1-800 ambulance chaser would have wished one came. But 911 is a joke. Public enemy #1, I've been ranked. The rock's not crumbling. The leprechauns have magically run out of pranks. Your son on a federal jail line mumbling something about having too much in his drink. You know how dumb that is? Another one fumbled his, wonder how I get the blame. Niggas' teeth is tumbling out their mouth and somehow I'm the one who done it. It's a murder mystery game. You had to catch Kyle and dunk it, but you who punked his, I'm the one who strummed the pain. That hill you can die on. There's way too much flack that comes from those planes. I'm killing them softly. What's understood don't need to be explained. You want it one way, it's the other. I still on you suckers, I maul you niggas, gang. I ain't much for me, it's no how. Cancel the brunches, I remember the hunger pains. The price of the bricks going up. It's gonna cost you a beat to even say my name. You ever heard of a wonder kid? My children.
Real quick, so the first, I believe, was going at Dame Dash, because he mentioned the teeth coming out. Dame Dash had his teeth fall out in one of his own videos on his own platform. I think it was for, what's his platform called? New something. I can't think of it right now. But the first few lines, I believe, was at Dame Dash. Second one was Drake, because Drake mentioned, setting up a meeting. You're going to have to set up a meeting like the Russians type of thing, he said in one of his songs and on the recent album, the Iceman album particularly. And so I think those were the first two references.
Some of them, have you niggas no shame? Y'all trying to get under skin? I really get under skin. Ask unharmed player. Y'all thugs with y'all thumbs again. Everybody think they're the ones insane. You're no maniac. Watch y'all saniac in my presence, nigga, shrink. I need a new therapist. This shit is not working. I'm truly on the brink. Y'all better not encourage him. Y'all don't want me to think these thoughts that I think. That nut-ass nigga still stuttering. And Chatty Patty down on his luck again. Quest introducing me to Jaguar. I don't know why I still fuck with him. He was wondering why I do the freestyle rehearsals. That lady back on the stuff, she sound like she in love with him. Her king can't even take their kids. Enough of them. A rapper can't beat my eye. I got MAGA Republicans. Them shots came from the...
That was definitely Nicki Minaj. I think he said her king can't even take the kids. Enough of them. Talking about Nicki Minaj's husband because he... was listed as a sex offender. So that was Nicki Minaj, that line right there. He also went back and went at Dame Dash again. So I believe the first one was Dame Dash, but then he went back and mentioned Dame Dash. At some point, the stuttering, I don't know if that's Kanye West. Does Kanye West stutter? If I got that wrong, let me know who's the stuttering person that he's mentioning, that he mentioned.
Every talk of the government, good luck with them. I'm governed by God. You try to break the government. I brain for 40 days, my neck get flooded again, wrists get flooded again. My net worth went up again. My next update, the jig is up. Nigga, I'm up 10, wrong chart, champ, you gotta look up again. Niggas look up to Hove, I never looked up to them.
Again, that was Drake. Drake mentioned the jig is up on the Iceman album. He's saying, yeah, the jig is up about 10. So he just flipped Drake's line.
The crackers got your publishing gangster. Go talk tough to them. Don't talk success to me. You niggas is workers. In perpetuities, how your contract is worded. Don't make me go man. The roots remember, even when the trees pretend, not too much of my name. Don't forget who I am. Hattie loves her Shawnees. S-H-A-W-N. I find it adorable she put the S at the end. You don't know, the show ain't even begin. I said, you don't know, the show ain't even begin. Hattie.
Yeah. So moving along.
Yo, I told y'all that Iceman dragged Jay-Z for filth. Y'all wasn't listening. All throughout that album, up and down, he gave you bops while dragging his ops. And Jay-Z could not sit idly by. He had to respond. Drake got under his skin. Mr. Above It All, remember Jay-Z sitting on those interviews saying, I'm above rap battles. You know, now he's blaming MAGA Republicans. Yo, Jigga, listen, man. I know you was trying to scheme behind the scenes for what, though? All you had to do was just hop out. You sent Kendrick Lamar, Pusha T, Meek Mill, all of them got destroyed by Drake. You controlled the narrative, right? You put the narrative out like, oh, they lost. You had so many excuses for why Drake lost. You never won a battle. You never won against DMX, Nas. I don't even know, like, what? You haven't been battle tested. The only person.
I would just add Mobb Deep because Mobb Deep in real life, Prodigy told the story, I believe, in his book and in an interview that he saw Jay-Z in person, and Jay-Z immediately, when he saw Prodigy, already knew Prodigy and whoever Prodigy was with, they weren't about to shake hands. And so Jay-Z diffused it immediately. Now, those of you that are Jay-Z fans, those of you that are from Brooklyn, you're going to hate that I'm saying that. You're going to say, I don't know what I'm talking about. Again, Prodigy had that in his book, The Infamous, and he spoke about it in interviews. And I never heard Jay-Z denounce that. Jay-Z never said anything about it, but I guess we could say it happened allegedly, but it was in Prodigy's book. So that would be the third person to add to his list. So you got, he said who? He lost to DMX, Nas, and then you could say Prodigy. Not so much Mobb Deep, because Prodigy was the one who he disrespected on the Summer Jam stage.
That you haven't tussled with that could actually chip that armor of yours that the whole Avenger, the Glazers, dawned you with, is Drake. How about you prove that you Jehovah, right? With the like, man. Anyway, Iceman did what they were supposed to do. We knew it was you, all behind the scenes. We knew it was you behind Tory Lanez. Like, it's a nasty game. It's a nasty game behind Nicki Minaj. Y'all, all of y'all thought that we were crazy, but now, who's crazy now? He wouldn't have hopped out. He wouldn't have addressed anything unless it got under his skin. But hey, you stepping out, are you going to want to catch a fair one, or are you going to still do the behind-the-scenes stuff, try to get people jammed up and whatnot? Because y'all playing dirty over there. Hey, yo, I told y'all.
Moving on to the next one.
I knew Jay-Z would bring it up and he would get on niggas' asses, but I did not think he would do it at the Roots picnic. Jay-Z done came out with a brand new look and a brand new attitude. This man done combed out the wicks and gave us a fro along with a flow. Got on many people's ass, from Nicki Minaj to Dame Dash, but the most important was Drake and goddamn Kanye West. Oh, he let Kanye West have it especially. This just a quick synopsis of what he said. You ever heard of Wonder Kid? My children are some of them. Have you niggas no shame? You really want to get under my skin? I'll really get under your skin. Ask how I'm playing. Y'all thugs with y'all thumbs again. Everybody think that they the ones insane. You know, maniac. Watch how he's saying he asking and watch how he's saying. Watch how he. I don't know who wrote this, but basically he's saying, watch how saying he act in my presence. Nigga shrink. That's a incredible play on words. Basically, this all goes back when Kanye was tweeting and he was saying some wild shit about Jay-Z and Beyonce babies. I ain't gonna repeat what he said, bro. If you was there to read the tweets, you know exactly what he said. The worst thing you could say about somebody's child, basically, Kanye said it about the same dude who put him in position. And the reason why this play on words is so crazy because he talks about getting under skin. When he say ask how I'm playing, back in the Gap, he stabbed a dude named and I can't even believe Jay-Z bringing that up, bro. Like, I can't believe billionaire Jay-Z is bringing it up, but sometimes you gotta bring shit up to let niggas know how you coming, cause niggas, they just think that you something to play with. And obviously Jay-Z ain't. When he say that you know maniac, watch how saying he act in my presence, niggas gonna shrink, that's a good play on word. Basically what he's saying is, you know, Kanye think he crazy. He ain't no motherfucking crazy ass motherfucker. He know to act sane around certain people. You know what I'm saying? You get around certain people and you play that crazy shit, but then when you get around real niggas, you ain't acting that way. He basically saying in my presence, he gonna shrink. He ain't gonna act that way. He gonna act like he got some sense. And if you ask me, Jay-Z really should just pull up on that, man. But you know what? Let me not encourage violence. I guess this was enough. But like I said, he got on a whole bunch of people's ass. He got on Nicki Minaj's ass and brought in the fact that her baby daddy, husband, or whatever dude is you know, he can't go around children. He said some things about Drake. I can't remember, bro. It was a lot. And who else? He said some shit about... Bro, he was getting on niggas' ass. He called Dame Dash a chatty patty. But on a good note, he brought out Jasmine Sullivan. He brought out Freeway, brought out Benny Siegel, brought out Meek Mill. It seemed like it was an overall good show, and I really can't wait for his 2 days that he got in the Bronx. But that's all I got on this one. Till next time, I'm out.
So I'm going to add to that. Overall, from what I saw, it was an incredible show. And a few things. You have to wonder why now he decided to do this as far as responding to all that's been said about him. And with all the rants that Nicki Minaj did, and she allegedly had the right to because it had to do with monies owed, he never responded to her. At least then he didn't. I don't know if he responded to Nicki within this quote-unquote freestyle, but I think what burns him more and what burned Kendrick and what burns people that don't like Drake is the success that Drake has been having. And for whatever reason, you don't like Drake. Some people don't like Drake. Is it because he's from Canada? Is it because he's biracial? I don't know what the case is, but I still think Drake makes great music. I think Kendrick makes great music. You know, I'm here for good music. I'm here for good back and forth battles. I like all of it, but I'm not going to be one of these people that's going to jump on a bandwagon and just denounce Drake or denounce anyone for that matter. Do you make good music? That's all I'm here for. And as long as you make good music, I'm here to listen to it. But you wonder why Jay-Z decided to do a freestyle now, and I can only think that it's because as a competitor, he tries to play it cool. His whole persona, his whole image in the industry is, you know, the God MC. He's Hove, so he tries to act like he doesn't have to respond to anyone that's beneath him, so to speak. But he couldn't help himself because he and the rest of the world seeing that Drake is breaking records. Drake is possibly himself going to become a billionaire. This would rub someone like Jay-Z the wrong way because he wants to be top dog. You know, he doesn't want to have someone who's his peer, you know, at the top. But it is what it is.
Is he always right, or is Jay-Z always rightfully out of touch? What I don't. I'm J. Hall, writer, cultural critic, and Annihilators will do Mortal Kombat on your teeth. So Jay-Z actually had an interview, and this is the first one he had in about 10 years. He sat down with GQ magazine, and he had some pretty interesting things to say. And one of the first things that raised my eyebrow was his take on Kendrick Lamar versus Drake.
Now, people that like Kendrick hate Drake.
Yeah.
No matter what he makes.
It's always interesting to me when people try to make like Drake is actually a victim. Like people started to hate him because of what Kendrick Lamar said, which is completely false. Drake was actually begging for Kendrick Lamar to come outside. Kendrick Lamar came outside, he got spanked, and Kendrick Lamar went back inside. Now, I don't understand why you feel, or anyone would feel, that their fan bases were converted, because no, people who hated Kendrick Lamar already hated him, and people who hated Drake already hated him, and that battle didn't convert or change nobody's opinion, except for the fact that we all understand that Drake should not be asking for Kendrick Lamar to come outside for nothing unless they actually open the door for him. I digress. However, when it came to battles itself, Jay-Z actually feels that battles should be taken out of hip-hop itself.
I guess I'm going to say it. I don't know if battling needs to be part of the culture anymore.
I'm very curious, do Jay feel like battle should be taken out of hip-hop before or after he left the condom next to the baby backseat, or before he put Prodigy up on that Summer Jam screen? I'm just curious. I just want to know. Now, battling is one of those things that is actually a part of the elements of hip-hop. You take that away, you take away the basketball and the NBA, you've got people running up and down the court, taking away the football and actually NFL, you got men just run up and down the field, run up against each other. You take that away, you taking away a huge part of it. You taking away someone's arm and telling them to go out there and box. It doesn't make sense. Now, Hov also heard your criticism about him being a billionaire and capitalist and how people feel about billionaires, and his response was very interesting.
I make art first, and then I make sure that I'm compensated for my art. I didn't take advantage. I didn't get here by taking advantage of people. I didn't take no one.
You know, to hear Jay-Z say he's never taken advantage of somebody is funny to me, because if you were a crackhead back in '88, you might disagree. Jay-Z's at a very weird place. Because he doesn't put out albums like the way he used to, or does interviews as often as he does, people actually have this very extreme feeling about him, whether he puts out music or he has conversation. They either feel a hatred towards him and Rock Nation, like they are solely responsible for raising gas prices, or they feel like he's dropping infinite wisdom when he just says something simple as, you gotta put milk on cereal. And they're like, oh my God, this Lucky Charms wisdom is great. And I just don't get it. He's a rarity, but the one thing I will say is that he is still an icon. He is still a legend. He is still a billionaire. He is all of these things, but everything he says isn't sacrilegious or is it satanic, but it feels like it's this weird discourse that, for me, sets the bar really, really low, and it's a bar that people love to take shots from. Is Jay-Z always right, or is Jay-Z always rightfully out of touch? What up, though? I'm Jay Hall, writer, cultural critic, and Annihilators will do Mortal Kombat on your teeth. So Jay-Z actually had an interview, and this is the first one he had in about 10 years. He sat down with...
All right, this is repeating. So credit to J-Hole Society. Previous to that, yeah, Darren did it. So got to give him credit. Yeah, Darren did it. And for the, what does this say? Caesar Life Show. So credit to all of those three men. I will say this. Off the top of my mind, I wonder what Oskino's thinking, because Jay-Z pays attention. You know, when Oskino said what he said, I covered this a few episodes back when Oskino had some words for Memphis Bleek, because he felt as though Jay-Z came back and gave his first few interviews to other people, knowing that Memphis Bleek, his partner from Brooklyn, from Marcy, has his own podcast. Oskino was looking at it like, why didn't Jay-Z go sit down with Memphis Bleek? But that's Jay-Z's choice. I'm not here to say whether that was a good decision or not. The point is Oskino has spoke about that and other things, in particular to the other members that were affiliated with Rockefeller at the time, State Property to be more exact. And what do you know? Roots Picnic, because it was in Philly, it was a fitting time to bring them back, but most people wouldn't have thought they would have came back. You know, I would assume Oskino wouldn't have thought that they would have been back on stage with Jay-Z. You know, let me know in the comments what you think about that. I would love to hear what Oskino has to say about it. At the time of this recording, I did not hear Oskino's point of view on the fact that State Property was out there, PD Crack, you had Freeway, you had Beanie Siegel, you had, I want to say, who else was out there? Is it Neek and Buck? I know I'm butchering their names, but at the end of the day, State Property was out there, and they performed State Property songs. And again, the overall, outside of this whole freestyle that is catching wave and people are discussing it and talk about it, overall, it looked like the Roots Picnic was something special. It looked like an event that, you know, If you could have been out there, you would have been out there. I know I would have been out there because it looked like a great show. Jasmine Sullivan came out because she's also from Philadelphia, so she sang one of her songs with a remix beat by The Roots, and it looked like a great event, you know. But outside of that, to respond to what this gentleman is saying, at the end of the day, hip hop has always been an art form that is fueled with ego and bravado. So you know you get on that microphone and you want to prove that you're the best. There was no way Jay-Z, even though he wants to portray as though he's higher up than everyone else and he won't respond. Clearly, he's been paying attention and he couldn't help himself. At some point in time, he's going to respond, which he just did on that stage with the Roots playing behind him. And it is what it is. But I would have preferred if he felt any kind of way, especially in terms of Drake. I would have preferred if he would have threw out a single that no one expected, and that would have been something. I think that would have been more special for the culture. Also, given that he never made an appearance during the 50th year of hip hop, that's why I kind of have a gripe with Jay-Z for that. I'm not a fan of artists acting as though like they're above the craft, yet the craft made them who they are, or the craft helped propel them. We won't say the craft made Jay-Z because Jay-Z's, you know, he would say he made his money in the streets prior to starting his label Rockefeller, but hip hop definitely catapulted him nationwide and beyond. It was the music. It was not him, you know, and what he did in Marcy. It was the music that propelled him. So I think he should have popped out for the 50th year of hip hop. You know, that's just my take on it. Maybe he did an event that I didn't know of. Educate me in the comment section. But to my knowledge, he didn't take part in anything. He didn't do anything. But now he just resurfaces because it's one of those things. It's almost, if you want to compare it to something, respectfully, it's almost during like what happened during COVID when they dropped the documentary on the Chicago Bulls, The Last Dance. Some were saying, oh, MJ was behind it because LeBron was starting to rise and people were talking less about MJ. People believed, at least the MJ haters, believed that that documentary came out to tarnish or take light away from LeBron James. This we can say is sort of the similar thing because it's like Jay-Z didn't come with new music. He's coming out after the 50th anniversary. He didn't show any face to my knowledge. Drake is on the rise, even despite everybody throwing stones at Drake. And here we go. Jay-Z's doing a Roots picnic along with 2 dates in Yankee Stadium. First of all, I didn't even know anything about the Roots picnic until this came out. I thought he was just doing the Yankee Stadium concert. So this was new to me. But again, it looked like it was a phenomenal concert. I'm not taking that away from him. His catalog, I don't take that away from him. I don't take any of that away from him. He's talented. The timing is what I question. Is why now? Why now you decide to respond? Jaguar White's been at his neck for the longest. She's been sitting down on that blue couch talking all types of stories about Jay-Z. And again, between Jaguar White and Nicki Minaj, they've been both at his neck. But for some reason now, he decides to stand on stage and talk about it. But it is what it is. What's your thoughts on all of it? As always, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you did not, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend I drop an episode daily at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And as always, stay honorable.